Welcome to Lipstick Diaries podcast and Merry Christmas to you all. Yes, it is Christmas Day and your girl is recording the episode for y'all. I felt like, I'm winding down this podcast for the season. We'll start back up sometime in 2022, but I just felt like, with this Christmas Day, I'm in a giving spirit. Let me just give y'all a little episode. So I decided I was going to give you a moral of the story today, another story time. I'm not going to, preach or lecture to you today. I'll say that for next week because it is coming. But first, let's start with the obvious. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of your families, from my family to your family, from my friends to your friends. For those of you guys who are celebrating alone, my prayers are with you. I don't know what circumstances are, but for those people who are missing loved ones, people who are experiencing loss so close to the holidays, my prayers and love are with you. Okay, I'm not just talking. I'm serious about that. So be sure to reach out to someone who maybe going through it on today. Reach out to them, invite them over, because at this point in time, we all need to be around as much love as possible, right? So that's my spill on that. Again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I would have did this last night, but last night was not the night, okay? It was a lot going on. Okay? And today's still a lot going on too, but it's better than yesterday. So it's Christmas Day, and I decided to give you a moral of the story. I don't have any lipstick details or anything like that. Not today, because I don't have any new lipsticks to premiere for you right now. This is some Sephora lipstick. It's like a lip pencil. It came in a set. I don't even know what it's called because someone gave it to me for Christmas one year. Go figure. The irony, right? And I'm just now opening it, and that's pretty much it. So I don't really know. There's no it's from Sephora, so I gotta. There's no one to really highlight or feature as far as lipstick goes. But before we jump into the moral of the story, I do have to say this. I do have some YouTubers that I do listen to on a daily basis. Let me think. Codename Chanel. I watch her a lot. I am Asia. K Shine, and shout out to K Shine because I watch her stuff. She was doing a 25 days of Vlogmas, and she stayed consistent. I'm talking about every single day she dropped the episode. Sis, I know I salute you for that because I know that wasn't easy. Okay, doing it just once a week, once every 2 weeks, that's hard enough. But doing it every week, every day, salute to her. And she also shouted me out on her podcast because I shouted her out about watching her podcast. I'm sorry, she shouted me out on her last video. She was telling a story about her friend being a hater, or not being a hater, her friend being kind of a follower, but whatever. You know what? I'm gonna put that link to that story in this description box because that's a person that I do recommend that you do watch if you're looking for some content to relate to or laugh. That's the person to watch. Okay, so her name is K Shine. I'll put down her Instagram information, her YouTube information down below. But shout out to her because she did shout me on her last video for shouting her out on my Instagram. So it was just like a series of shout outs. So that is that. Okay. All right. YouTubers got to stick together, man. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. I'm really just doing a podcast, but I convert over to YouTube, that type of thing. But it's hard to get subscribers. And when you do go to her page, man, look, like, comment, and subscribe. All right, LCS, like, comment, and subscribe. The views matter, but it really matters when you get some feedback from people that's watching your videos, even with my videos. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, like, comment, and then subscribe. Okay, and then when you do that, tell your friends to do the same thing. Okay, that's how that work out. Okay, that's how we make things shake on YouTube. Okay, so do that for her, do that for me. Okay. All right. So that's that. So y'all ready for this moral of the story? Of course you're ready for this moral of the story. Who wouldn't be ready for the moral of the story? So I played around on whether I was going to tell this story or not. And you know what? I'm really only telling y'all part of this story because this story gets deep, okay? It's like 2 or 3 parts to this story. But I'm just going to tell you the part of the story where because I was scared to approach a dude, I ended up talking to his friend. But not on purpose, okay? Just hear me out, all right? Just hear me out, okay? Just because y'all about to start judging me, I'm about to get mad. So, all right, so look, this is the situation. Some years back, probably about like 2011, I had this job. I won't tell you the job. Don't matter what the job was, anyways. Just know it was an office job, okay? And in this office job, there was a warehouse, and they, if I tell you what they did, no, you won't know. what they did was they refurbished equipment, or they just pretty much recoded equipment in the back. Okay, but we were on phones. When my job was, I was on phones all day. Okay, so I got this job through a temp agency, and I kind of didn't like the job, to be honest with you. But there's not many jobs I do like. Okay, that's a whole nother. That might be another story time in itself. But anywho, I didn't like the job, but I needed a job. So I had a friend. We're gonna call her Mimi. Okay. She was kind of like my work buddy, like in the beginning. But then she got a new job, so she went away. So, but in the beginning, she was my work buddy. So there was this guy that worked in the warehouse, right? We're going to name him Mike. Okay. His name was Mike. And it got so deep to the point I knew that man's schedule. Like if I came in at 9 to 6, I knew he was coming in 11 to 8. Like I knew the schedules.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay. So I saw him the first time I was like, dang, who was that? Like, he work here? You know? So I just peeped him out because I didn't even know if he was. You know how you don't know if somebody's there for somebody else or if they actually work there, but then I saw a badge, so I was like, no, he worked here. So, and I found out that he worked in warehouse. So I peeped him out. You know, I just kind of watched him. I ain't say nothing to him. Of course I ain't say nothing to him, because let me tell you something about me. I ain't the approach a dude type, all right? I mean, no shade to the females that can do it. Salute to y'all, because I just can't do it. I've never done it. And I don't feel like I'd be good at it, to be honest with you. So I don't really do that. Normally, not to be cocky, I really kind of don't have to either. So I picked him out. I saw him. I was like, oh, okay. So I tell Mimi, I said, Mimi, like, there's this guy that works in warehouse. Do you know him? She's like, no, what he look like? I said, you know, he's kind of tall, light-skinned dude, you know, cute dude, real low, real reserved. She's like, well, on lunch, show me who he is. I said, okay. So on lunch, we went and got our food. We came back. You got to pass warehouse to get to the office. So I was like, I pointed him out to her. She's like, oh, wow, he is cute, you know, whatever. She said, you should say something to him. I said, Say something to him. Like what? And she's like hi. Or something like that. Girl, no. Absolutely not. Okay. So once she knew that I liked this dude, she just kept pressing me. Like, when you gonna talk to him? I was like, I don't do the talking to the dudes thing. Like, I need him to approach me. Okay. So after a while, I started kind of like making it. I don't even know how to explain it. I just kind of, every time I was around him, I kind of just did something to make it known, like, talk to me, say something to me, like, looking like, when you plan on making a move type of thing, you know? He ain't pick up on it. Okay. So in my mind, I feel like, you know what? He probably not interested. Like, you know, because, you know, most times for a dude like you, yeah. So weeks go by. And it's just a crush. At this point, I just didn't kind of settle for the fact that this is going to be a dude that you admire at your job. Like, you know, he just this dude that you like that happens to work in the warehouse, and you just get to look at him, because I ain't saying nothing to him, and apparently he ain't saying nothing to me. Okay. So that was that. Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, one day on Twitter, when I had a Twitter, I don't have a Twitter anymore. So one day on Twitter, this particular guy, we're going to name him Clown, because that's exactly what he is. Okay. So Clown made a post and said he had Summer Jam tickets, and he made it seem like he was trying to get rid of them, right? So I commented, I didn't DM him, I commented and said, well, how much you want for him, you know? So then I got a D, like maybe like an hour later, I got a DM. Now, typically I don't check DMs from people I don't know, like, but the only reason I checked this DM was because I felt like since I was asking about money, he probably didn't want to talk about that, like, right out in front of everybody. So he probably was like, well, I'll just DM her. So I answered, I looked at the DM, and the DM said, I wish I still had it for receipt purposes, but I don't think that message is in Twitter anymore. That was so long ago, I doubt it's even still there. So he said something along the lines of, what I really was looking for more so a date to go to Summer Jam, you know, that type of thing. And he put like the smirky face emoji. And I said, oh, okay, my bad. I said, oh, okay, my bad. I didn't know. I misread the post. And he wrote back again, was like, unless you're trying to go with me. I was like, no, I'm cool. after that, I noticed that he started following me on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, okay, no big deal, because whatever, that's what you do on social media. You follow people, you interact with people, no big deal. So I noticed that he started liking a lot of my stuff, started talking, commenting on a lot of my things and stuff like that, and I didn't think nothing about it, until he got in my DM again, and he was just like, basically, long story short, he just asked me out, and I left it on red. I saw it, but I'm like, because one thing about Tisha don't listen to her heart. Tisha listens to her mind. Okay, I'm not a hopeless romantic. None of that. Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking like, because side note, when I had to move back to my home city, I made up my mind that I didn't want nobody to really know I was back. But that kind of went out the window when I became a party promoter and event planner. So, it kind of just had to go away with the wind, because how are people not gonna know you back when you're doing events with your name on it? That's so. But I really wasn't interested in dating nobody in my home city, because my home city is small. Everybody know everybody. But I really didn't know who he was, though. I didn't recognize him. Never really seen him before.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
So I asked my friend, if you watched my first moral of the story, Haley, the infamous Haley. I asked her, I said, hey, do you know Clown? She's like, yeah, I know Clown. She's like, yeah, he cool. I don't, got a whole lot to say about him, but he come to all our events and stuff, he cool. I was like, well, he asked me out. And she's like, well, you gonna go? I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, well, why not? Like, it'll be cool for you to go on a date, blah, 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 blah. Now, everybody that I told about this dude was like rooting for me to go on this date, because I'm the type of person, I was like anti-date. Like, I ain't trying to be, I kind of still am. Like, I don't do a whole lot of the dating thing. Okay. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like, to me, he played too much. Like, he always cracking jokes. And to me, he didn't take nothing serious. That's how I looked at it. But then again, I'm like, it is Twitter. That's kind of what it's for. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna oblige him. I'll go on one date, and if I ain't feeling it, I'll just let it go. They was like, yeah, cool, do that. So
I made a mistake on that one. Okay, that was a one-off. So
I messaged the back. I said, yeah, we can go where you want to go. He's like, let's go to this Mexican restaurant out here. They had, at this point in time, it kind of had just opened up. So I was like, all right, cool.
Now you see, now you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
So I go on a date. The date actually went pretty well. It was fun, he was funny. He was funny, cracked jokes. I laughed, hee hee ha ha. But yeah, it was cool. We had a good time. He didn't do a whole lot on the first date. It was cool. So immediately we set the second date. The second day, I'm like, all right, we can't be in this city. I don't really, like I said, I don't really want nobody to see me really doing anything like dating or anything, because I turned so many people down, for one thing. I really just didn't feel like having that conversation with nobody, for one thing. And two, I just felt like we need to be somewhere where nobody really know he was at. So I set a date in another city, kind of like 10 minutes away from our home city. So we had this place we used to go to. Cool. So fast forward, me and dude have been talking for a minute, and it was cool. We was enjoying each other's company. It was cool. So then there was this one day where he was like, me and some friends about to meet out at a park or whatever. You should come through, bring some friends. I said, oh, okay. So I called Haley, because I didn't have a lot of friends with an S in the city at the time that still lived here. So I just called Haley. So we go. He's like, yeah, I want to introduce you to some of my friends. I said, okay, cool. I'm like, we introduce each other's friends. So, because keep in mind, all we doing is talking. Like, I ain't really asked him much about nothing. Like, in my mind, I'm not dating. I'm just going out having a good time with a specific person. But realistically, we are kind of dating about it. So I just don't want to put a name to it. I just wasn't ready to do that. All right. Keep in mind, back at my job, I still was crushing on old dude at the warehouse. But never said nothing to him. He never said nothing to me. Okay. So we go to the park. I'm kind of trying to be a little cute, because you're going to meet dudes you talking to, and then you meeting friends, so you want to look like something. Plus, he told me to bring friends, so so we go. He said they was gonna stop at the liquor store first, and so to meet him at the liquor store. I said okay. He's like, just in case you got something, you and your friends want to drink. I said, all right, cool. So we go and meet him at the liquor store, and I see him there. I go inside, we go get what we want to drink, and then we come outside to his car. Now I didn't even recognize the car like next to me. I parked right next to this car and didn't even recognize it. He's like, yeah, come meet my homeboy. I said, oh, okay, cool. I was like, are all your friends, we be meeting here? We all meet at the park. He's like, no, it's just the one guy I'm riding with, but all the rest of my friends at the park. I said, okay, cool. So he was like, Mike, I want to introduce you to somebody. He said, oh, okay, man. Mike got out the car. It was Mike from work.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
I was looking like, y'all know each other? So Mike says, oh,
yeah, I work with her. What's up? He said, I never knew your name. What's your name?
I said, it's Tisha. It's Tisha. He's like, oh.
Okay, yeah, man. He said, we work together. I already know her.
He's like, oh, that's cool. He's like, but yeah, basically he's just like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. So I'm sitting in the back seat with this face. Cause bro, what's the chances? This is why I said I don't like. That's why I said that I want to date in my city, because it was too small of a city. Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, if this don't work out, if I can get the courage, I'm gonna holler at old boy, the dude I really want to talk to. Now I can't do that because they're friends, good friends at that, like tight, grew up with each other type friends. So the whole day at the park, I just got like this blank stare on my face, and clown kept asking me like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm cool."
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Because I'm like, my mind, I'm like, I don't even want to be with Clown. I don't even want to talk to Clown. I really want to talk to Mike, but I can't. Even if me and Clown didn't work out, I still couldn't talk to Mike because they're friends. And like, we've been introduced already. So I'm low-key like boiling inside. Like, dog, how did this happen? I tell Haley, it's like, Haley, come to the car. She said, okay, what's wrong? I said, how about the guy he introduced us to at the liquor store? That's the guy I told you about at my job. She's like, what? Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. We in this, that's the kind of situation I'm in right now. So she's like, what you gonna do? I was like, what can I do? I can't, there's nothing I can do. Even I decide I don't want to talk to Clown, I can't talk to Mike. Like, that's not gonna happen because he's already associated me with Clown. So essentially I'm kind of stuck. She's like, dang. She's like, well, I mean, not really, because y'all ain't got no titles. Like, you don't get it. I know what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, title or not, he's not going to take me serious because I've been introduced to by his friend. So even if me and him don't work out, it's going to look like I'm running through that crew. And she was like, well, yeah, true. The moral of the story is, stop being so scary. Had I not been so scary, and I would have just made the move on Mike, then I would have answered the DM from Clown. I would have told Clown, like, I'm kind of talking to somebody, I can't go on the date. And I wish I would have did that, because as this more of the story going to have more than one part. It's probably going to be like 3 parts. But we ain't going to get into all that today because it's Christmas Day and I don't want to be irritated, okay? But if I wouldn't have been so scary talking about I don't approach dudes. Dudes approach me. Then I wouldn't have this problem, now would I? I would have rather approached Mike. Now that I'm older and I think about it, I would have rather approached Mike and Mike say, well, no, I'm not interested. And I get my little feelings hurt. Because that's the real reason why I don't want to approach dudes, because it's rejection. Like, I had a really big, high fear of rejection back in that day until I talked to my mentor, which I interviewed on this podcast, Jaden Lee. He was like, as soon as you get over that fear of rejection, things is going to open up for you, right? So, but back then, that was like a big fear of mine, which is why I did not talk to him. But I wish I did, because I would have saved myself that heartache. It wasn't even a heartache. It was headache more so than heartache. But like I said, we'll do that another moral story. Ladies, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. Like, I know some females, and I'm included, we don't feel like we got to approach dudes because dudes should approach us. But at the same time, if you like meet somebody that you like, or that you think that you like, you should just go ahead and make that move, man. It's easier because you just never know the cycle of life and how things are gonna go. So I say make that move. We gotta stop being so scary, man. We gotta stop being so squeamish about rejection. I mean, it's not a good feeling to be rejected by anybody, but if that's what we scared of, we gotta get out of that. Cause see, I really wish I would have made when you hear the other parts of this story, like part 2, part 3, you're gonna be like, dang, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm telling you from experience, please work on your fear of rejection because it can save you some headache. Okay, especially when we're talking about guys. Okay, because I mean, I feel like, and because of this story, I know I have a really good judgment of character with people. Because I was apprehensive to talk to Clown in the first place, that's how I knew I shouldn't talk to him. I let everybody else talk me into doing it. I was like, I don't know, man. He coming off like he a clown, which he is. And I ain't talking about no funny clown either. You'll see. But with Mike, I didn't feel like that. I felt like, man, I think he a dope dude. He real cool. He come to work on time. He do his job. He doing a whole lot of talking. You know, I just kind of felt something with Mike. But with him, I was kind of like, I don't know. Should I? You know, that type of thing. Hey, yo, look, my name is Tisha, man. I got stories for days. Like I said, I'll give you part 2 and part 3. Not next week, though, because next week we got to get into some real stuff. But I will end off. That's going to be y'all last moral of the story, though, okay? 2 and 3, that's it. That's I'm capping it out for the year, okay? So I got to try to find a way to squeeze that in all into next week because we got to be done with this by the time 2022 comes so I can give y'all new content, right? And interview new people and all that jazz, okay? So with that being said, my name is Tisha. This is Lipstick Diaries Podcast. Happy holidays again. Merry Christmas. This is my Christmas gift to you to give you a moral of the story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys will further enjoy the rest of this story that I will soon give to you. Yeah, y'all bringing me out of my comfort zone because I said I wasn't gonna talk about this again, but we got to because I feel like the next few parts are not as funny as this, and this ain't really funny to me either. But somebody may find it funny, but I don't find it funny. I find it I'm actually annoyed with it. Okay, but the second and third parts to this, females, I feel like I'll be able to help a female going forward. So yeah, we gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do this for y'all and y'all only. My transparency is my gift to y'all because I really want to keep this as classified information. And some parts are still going to be classified information. I'm not gonna give you every little detail about that situation because I'm embarrassed.
What an embarrassment.
Okay, all right. Other than that, have a good holiday. Merry Christmas. I love you all. Anybody that, I don't care if it's just one viewer, one subscriber, however many people it is, I appreciate you because you don't have to do that. You don't have to watch my videos. You don't have to like. You don't have to comment. And you for sure ain't got to subscribe. And you for sure ain't got to share. But you do, and I appreciate you. All right? So with that being said, continue to pass the word along. I'm going to continue to give you the content that I feel will be good for it. So with that being said, happy holidays. Enjoy your holiday. I will talk to you next week.